Okay. So, good morning, well, I suppose good evening where I'm from. And hello, everyone. My name is Sugi Yamagawa, and today on VTubing My Slow Life Hobbies in My 30s, we're going to be finishing up the Japanese sawhorse build. The first one you can actually see is right behind my current workpiece right now. So we're going to be building that. I'm actually using it to support some of the pieces for today's build. And yeah, so game plan. Today's game plan. First off, we have a tenon to cut right here on this, what's going to be this leg. So we got to cut a tenon. Yes. And in addition to this tenon, we'll have 4 small mortises to cut. The small mortises are going to be used for these connecting pins. These little guys right here. These are going to be what are going to hold our mortise and tendons together once everything's done. And so, yeah. So, we got a reasonable amount of work to get done today. So, I went ahead and pre-marked out this tenon on all my sides. Because since we're cutting a tenon plus doing a couple mortises and then assembly, we've got quite a bit of ground to cover, so I wanted to go ahead and get things started off on the good foot. Get things started off quickly. So, go ahead and get my saw lined up on my line. And then I'm just going to go ahead and just, as always, light passes in the get-go, which actually I shouldn't even be using. I'm actually using the incorrect side. I need to be using this side of my saw. So, shame on me, but whenever you're using your saw to first make your cut, you always want to start off like nice and easy until you get enough of a curve to support the blade. And so I'm like cutting on one side, and then I'm also bringing my curve down here. And then as I'm expanding my curve out, I want to make sure I'm following my lines, at least for the most part. So we're gonna at least, pretty optimistic, we followed this line through. And we did not. I did not. That actually curved. So, let's see. How can I fix it? I don't know if I'll be able to fix that. Well, I mean, this is actually the stage I can fix it. But it's always a little bit challenging to fix it once your blade wanders a little too much. If I can get it into this curve, because the thing is, if I wasn't trying to like stream this, it'd be a lot easier for me to like flip this around. It'd be a lot easier for me to like manipulate the workpiece in my station and get it to a level where I can kind of sort of begin to fix things. But I think, I don't know, be able to oh no, that might be reasonably repaired. Okay, so it looks like I've got it reasonably repaired. So I'm going to try and just bring that curve through to my other side. So We deviated a little bit here. We brought it back in line. So, ideally, saw blade will wanna... Ideally, I want to get it to the point where it will fall into the other curve, but I don't think I'm meeting in the middle as well as I hoped, but we'll see. Wanting to follow the old curve, not the new curve, so... Granted, I'm also getting a lot of resistance. Because it's really wanting to follow that. That old curve. So. Love when it's all drifts. Yes! Yeah. Oh no. Here we go. Now we got a guy who actually knows what he's doing. Oh, I've got a reasonable amount of cut down on that side. So, let's hope we can just bring it across. So. And if I do this number, have I finally gotten it to do what I want? Not going to count on it, but looking a little bit more optimistic right now. Woo! Yoy. Joys of cunning tenants. I hand at that. Granted, I'm actually reasonably following my curves, and this may not work out how I intend, but I'm going to at least try. That's why we put everything on wheels around here. Stop. And that's not going to work out how I intended. Because I want to tackle it from this side, but that's not going to happen. It's no bueno. So, let's see if we can get it a bit more into camera. And... oh, nope. And we'll just have to continue doing this the good old-fashioned way. With great difficulty. Periodically check the other side, but... granted, the fun thing about the other side is that it's actually is slightly drifting inwards on the other side. Not gonna worry about that. I'm at least right in two planes. I'm not gonna like I'm a 2D VTuber. I can succeed in 2 dimensions, but 3 dimensions is asking too much of me. So we're just gonna go for being correct in 3 dimensions. Well, 2 dimensions, discounting the 3rd. And man, I thought it was actually going to be a little too cool in the shop because weather's been a little cool recently. Yeah, this is a really good workout. Granted, I think I'm going to cross-cut this once I'm done with this cut, because, well, I don't know. Technically got it set up to make my other cut here, but basically rip cutting a 2x4, yeah, it's a lot of work. That's another reason why I went ahead and tried to lay out get all my marking lines laid out at the beginning, like before stream. Okay, how close? Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. We're and do that. Come on. Woo. Okay. Okay, so I'm probably less than a quarter inch here. Back. Less than a quarter inch there, so we're nearly there. If I had a better setup for mounting this workpiece to something, I could use 2 hands, and I could probably fly through it if I use 2 hands. But that's the first big cut done. First big cut done. And you can kind of see where it kind of wanted to drift, but I brought it back into line a little bit. It's a little bit better. But hey, that's the fun thing with shop projects. I have to be... like, I'm really going to be the only person to really see these. So... let punishment continue once more. So... whoop. Let's see, how are we doing that line? So, we are starting to drift a little bit, so I'm starting to... I think I should just go ahead and kind of start scoring a top now. Rip cutting planks for my bellows wasn't... yeah. Rip cutting in general is just a lot of work. I gotta... Just want to do it. I probably gotta do it from the other way. Honestly, probably the most... this is probably gonna get me the most success, even though I might... because once I get a little bit of a kerf to support the blade, it doesn't get too bad, but just getting that first kerf and really maintaining that straightness is... it's fun. It's real fun. So, we got ourselves a decent way across. How am I looking on my other side here? Ooh. Ooh, that's terrible. But, thinking. Now that I've got we're gonna go with this, and we're gonna see how well we do after a little while. And what is it? It's kind of doing. Well, it's actually kind of doing what I want it to do, but kind of not. Check. Am a hair bit wider if I commit to that line. It will be a hair bit. That will be a hair bit long. So, So I could try committing to this, and then, granted, the issue for shaving it down. Really want so if I make the tenon too thick, really my best option for thinning it down would be doing a really thin, well, either one, thin cut with the pull saw, or option 2 would be kind of just chiseling it a little bit thinner. Because right now my saw's also traveling outward into the cutoff. Like, actually really badly. Not sure if I can really show it there, but I think my ultimate solution is gonna be well, part of me wants to consider starting another curve parallel to the one I just started and kind of foobarred. And we'll see, because if my tenon's a little bit, how thin does that make me? That almost makes me too thin, though. Great. I guess I have to... I guess I'm just gonna make this on the thick side. There's no good... Well, even if I wanted to bring power... Because there's good ways for me to use power tools to make the cuts around here. There's no good way to make power tools on this unless I wanted to send the top... This piece right here facing the top of my table saw, and that's skeevy. Or, well, actually... The bandsaw's an option, but I haven't done that. So I think we're gonna just try to cut inward. The top down. I don't want it. The problem is I really don't want it to follow that curve on the other side, because the curve on the other side, like some of the earlier curves I was dealing with were small curves, but that was just like trying to go straight out of the park. It's here. That's actually better. That's actually better. We're in. We can make this work territory. I think the mortars might end up a little thick. Well, not the mortars, but the tin. But that'll be fun. Still looking good there. Still looking good there, because I'm going to be checking this frequent. I want to check this frequent. other side. Ooh. Oh man. Looking a lot better on the other side. So I'm gonna bring it all the way down to my line on the side that's over here. And I'm gonna rock the saw up. And start cutting the other side. Oh, felt like a pinch, but I'm just gonna give this a few more passes and we're pretty much almost done. Woo! At least with the 2 big rip cuts. Okay. Ooh. That curved. Oh well. I have to just clean that up a little bit later, so. Before we do, because I still have to make cuts here and here to get the length of my tenon right. I think we're just gonna get easy a little bit, and we're gonna move on to doing some cross-cutting. Because the cross-cuts are kind of easier to do. Uh-oh, for cross-cuts, we'll get back to the bench. Getting a little too much bench. I'll get this in a good spot. Get a clamp. Get a clamp on the workpiece. And I need some room here. Let's see here. I wanna actually have a. I actually want to have a fair amount of room for this. This is gonna be a little bit of work. I know. First cut was just a little bit outside my line, and I want to be on my line. For this cut. Because that's honestly the part where I struggle the most with my cuts. It's really hard for me to square myself up to my workpiece if I can't have myself in the center where I'm trying to cut. And due to my workspace and various constraints, that's a little challenging at times. Woo! Yay! Peace. But yeah, that's kind of how like bad the drift on the first cut at one point was going. It was going pretty badly, but it's a little bit better now. I think I'm gonna have to do some chiseling work on this side because I'm a little, because you can kind of see that slope there and that's sloping out. I think that's proper hand. Could always use a carpenter. Yeah, I mean, kind of hard to have. Definitely need to get better at stuff. But that's also why I'm doing this today, is to get better at stuff. Let's see. Okay. It's good and tight to the bench. Reasonably. If that's the wiggle. That's where we go with 2 clamps. And also, I'm gonna have some water. Okay. So, up the reps indeed work. Yep. Only way to get better at something is to practice it. Or at least that's been my experience in life. Whew. Oh. I gotta go a little bit deeper with this crosscut. Ooh. And that one turned out reasonably better. Like on up and down, reasonably straight. I just did kind of curve out a little bit, but see if I can. Might not be able to clean that up. Not gonna worry about it. Okay, that should... That's reasonable for the saw. And since the saw gave me a place to work... Chisels in. We should switch to a smaller one. No, I switched to a smaller one. Do myself a favor and move all this to a spot where I can actually work on it. A little bit hard to work on it where I had it. That should be better. Also, using a rifle one-handed is hard. Pets I care about. Yeah. I have a really bad habit of going for hard mode. Mostly... because most of my issue is just getting the workpiece set up right. And that's reasonably cleaned up. But we'll go ahead and take a look at it, get it out of the clamp. As far as I'm reasonably concerned, definitely looks like it could look better, but I thought when I measured it up, I was going to be taking a lot more off one side, and that truly ended up being the case. So, go ahead and I want to set this here. Yeah, clamp-based wood holding is harder too. Yay, good to know. One of these... now you're really giving me motivation to get my hands on a bench vise. Because my the biggest reason I haven't got a bench vise yet is the price. Like, a bench vise is like a reasonable one seems to have a reasonably good cost to it. But now I'm thinking that there's actually a good reason for that cost, and that reason is worth investing a little bit of money into. Granted, for these crosscuts I'm doing now, all I have to do is go down around a centimeter, so these are pretty easy-ish to do. Be secured. Grab saw. Find magic line. Begin to saw on magic line. Okay. out of the clamp. And let's do visual. Yep, looks good. And back to the utility cart. I'm thinking. Oh, I wonder that's not holding. Try here. There we go. More wiggles than what I know there's only so much I can do. Voices are good. Honestly, I think I use my hold. Ooh, yeah. I have yet to upgrade. So many upgrades. So many wonderful upgrades. So many wonderful things that you can do to make the things better for yourself. Yeah, starting. There we go. Okay, that looks reasonable. I don't know how I feel about that. Oh man. I don't know if real life is necessarily like hard mode training works in anime, but I don't know about it in real life. Sometimes it works, but I suppose it depends if as long as you don't get burnt out on it, but I certainly have no plans to get burnt out at this point. Because even if it's like hard work, I mean this is still reasonably fun work to do. Granted, I am looking forward to the day where I can be a little bit more proud of the projects I make. That's a big thing I'm looking forward to. It just straight snapped at the end. Okay. So, here's one of my feet for this thing. So I'm gonna grab my 1/2-inch chisel here. Just kind of cut my corners a little bit here. So the tin will want to go into the mortise, and then we will try to dry fit. Try a dry fit. We'll see what we get. And side up. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. Thank you for Participate. You're a good participant. And magic time. A little resistive that way. Just a little bit more participating the other way, but that's actually only one of my two. I think one of these is a bit more open. This one definitely. I'd actually go with this one. Okay. So I need to need to do a little bit of marking. Granted, I know what I can do, so thinking is this mortise isn't super perfectly square. A little bit narrow here, a little bit wider here. I think if I open up this, it should go on here fairly well. Hopefully. So let's go back to the bench. And move some stuff. Actually, I gotta move myself out a little bit. Camera-wise. Yeah. Sure. Double check and make sure. What I want. Okay, so yeah, it's that spot right there. Let's try to open up this mortise a little bit, and hopefully that be the ticket. Because it's definitely thinking about it. Definitely thinking about going in. But I think I need to open up the mortise a little bit more to get that result. I know for a fact I'm going to be a little bit aggressive about this, and I don't want to... Well, actually, I can put that as a sacrificial block there. Then we can just do a block. I also got to do a block where my clamp's going to go. If my clamp doesn't fly out of my hands. But we'll set this up, and hopefully I'll be able to go to town now. Because I was kind of going through, all the way through, and actually I just hit the down there. Okay, flatten that out. And if I can get a little... Okay. Then... become hard mode training. And I try to... and like open up the other side a little bit more. On this. Then once I get this cleaned up a little bit more, we'll actually try to fit it again. Let's see. We'll give this a shot. Okay. So we got so we still have a little bit more work to do, but it actually went down a little bit more. Use the speed clamp. Oops. Maybe the speed clamp might be a little too. Speed clamp might be a little too speedy. Oh, that's what it's hanging up on. I was like, one part of the block was laying on the claw of my hammer, and I was just like, why is it doing that? It's like, oh, it's laying on the thing. So I need to now open up my sides. This, my short side, this short side. And then after we do this, we'll see where we're at then. Pretty optimistic we'll be close. Let's see. Shave. Let's see. Bit of a high spot right there. So that. Pretty sure. Pretty sure that's pretty good for this side, but we'll move on to the other side. I know you can't see the other side too much, but it is what it is. Get my corner, please. Thank you. Granted, it's also real hard to see what I'm doing. Okay. We opened up, got both sides a little bit more opened up. See what we... Ooh. Okay. Oh. We're we're really close at this point. I have a bit of a hump right in here. And I'm pretty optimistic if I get that taken care of, I should have a good fit, so. Yeah, I love being like 1 hour, already nearly an hour into this, and I've just gotten like one small part done. And we've got more small parts to do. Here, so can I just do that? And let's see. Nose. I am mildly optimistic. Yay! Just stay. But yeah, okay. So we've successfully completed the last mortise. Well, technically we did complete the last mortise, but we were originally working on the tenon, but we had to do a little bit of cleanup on our mortise to get everything wonderful. But everything's wonderful now. So I now need... I'm gonna drink some water. I'm gonna drink some water to celebrate. Wow. That's great stuff. And so, since we just don't want to lay anything on my ruler. Hey, actually, Saw, we're kind of done with you. Ruler, we're kind of done with you. We'll send you that way. We'll send you over that way. Let's see, get something like that going. Yep. Sweetums. Cool. So, next task is to make a mortise here for one of these oak pins, and then that's going to hold the tenon and the mortise. These, I'll be grabbing my, I think it's my 1/2 inch. If I remember right, it's my 1/2 inch drill bit that works really well for these. I'm optimistic that's going to be the case. So, got my 1/2 inch drill bit and my drill. I'm going to find a reasonable spot to put a mortise in, and I'm going to drill. one of the kind of sort of tricky things you gotta do for this, if you want like a really good walk fit. There we go. For your mortise and tenon, is you want your tenon to be slightly off from where your mortise is. So that's I consider that done. I'm gonna throw a block under here. That way when I drill through, I don't put a hole in my workbench. So if I flip this over, oh, would you look at that? I got a hole on the other side, so I've got a hole on two sides. And that's also why I put a block under it, keep my workbench from getting holes that I don't want it to have. So, the good thing that can happen with the half-inch drill bit is it basically lays out the boundaries of said mortise. So I do a little bit of a double tap there. Double tap. How many people get that reference? Do people even have seen that movie? I don't know how many modern kiddos would have seen that movie. So we'll just go around. And so the fun thing about doing everything in half-inch is I can basically use my chisel as a reference for all four sides of this mortise. And then once I kind of have it started, I can work it. Granted, admittedly, I can. Oh, I just cut, drill, and chop into my workbench. I mean, I've been there. I've done that. Bleeding. Levels. Oh, okay. Starts with a quote from that movie. Okay. I never heard of Bleeding Thoughts, but but if there's a song that references that movie, then I should probably listen to that song sometime. Because that movie was... I was a big fan of that movie back in the day. Granted, actually, I don't even want to know how old that movie is, because I'm still trying to think whether or not if I was in high school or college when that movie came out. I want to say maybe college. Like, I might have been a freshman in college when that movie came out. Hey. And there's also the thing with using the half-inch chisel to cut out the half-inch mortise. Tights fit, but you will at least be secure in your knowledge of you have a half-inch. On the default speech, yeah, man, it was that's the end of Fight Club, another movie from a similar era. Ah, okay. So that's actually a kind of a thing with me, is I'm actually not super much of a Hollywood/movie guy. I am famous amongst my friends for being... They will talk about a movie, they will talk about an actor, and I'm like, I don't know, I'm not super knowledgeable about movies or actors. So, let's take a look. That's reasonably square-shaped. Do I think I can get a reasonably square-shaped plug through there? And not all these pins are perfectly half-inch. So, but yeah, some of these will definitely slide in there. Maybe with a little bit of resistance. Let's try to clean out the side, kind of clean them out a little bit more. Different strokes, yeah. I think just the biggest thing about that particular movie was... That was like back when like zombies were like super hyped and such, and there was just... I don't know, that era of like pop culture was just very big into the zombies. I was also during peak time frame for a certain class of event to happen. That type of event being a humans versus zombies event. I'm not sure if you're aware of that type of event. Everything was zombies. Yes. It was like everyone had like... Everyone's like 2 brain cells was like Zomb and B. Actually, wait a second. What am I doing? I need to make my life easier. Once I get at least it roughly marked out with the half, come in with the corner, and just try to hit all my corners. And then it should be reasonably good. Whoa! Man, those were good times though. Really good times. Ooh. Darn it. So at one point in time, I had a fun little book. It was the Zombie Survival Guide. And I'm trying to remember if I still have that book. And if I do, if I still have that book lying around, I would totally be down for like testing some. Wouldn't trade those times for the world. Don't want to go back though. Oh come on, who doesn't want to be young and dumb again? Yeah. So Max Brooks has his novel World War Z, but I don't know if it was before the novel or after the novel, but he did also like write a zombie survival book. Like, zombie apocalypse has happened. Here's what you need to do to like equip yourself to survive the zombie apocalypse. Okay, that fits in nicely. Hey, sweet, we're done here. So this is done. Now move on to how do I want to do this? So, ba-bam, ba-boom. And I actually still... I have still yet to see the movie. Okay, so Survival Guide 03, World War Z 06. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking it was Survival Guide first, because I actually bought the Survival Guide and I bought the World War Z from a certain fun bookseller called Borders, which I don't know. Well, then he wrote Minecraft the Island in 2017 per Wikipedia. Huh, okay. That's good to see he's still active and doing stuff. Good for him. Bought a lot of books from Borders. Then Borders... I think the thing with Borders is Borders was a victim of the '08 recession. I think is what did Borders in. But actually, got a lot of good stuff from that bookseller. So, I'm actually going to be doing the work for this Mortis from the other side. But I want to score my line. I bought my first manga from there. Yeah. Yes. Yep. Yep. I bought my entire collection of the Lucky Star manga exclusively from Borders. I got all my Lucky Star from Borders. I think I bought a reasonable amount of the Rurouni Kenshin manga. Trying to think. That was because I did follow a couple series, but I didn't buy all. I wasn't like I never got super into manga. Okay, that's my chisel do. I don't know if my chisel doing what I wanted to. And that's on the floor now. Okay. Oof. My memory serves, it was Gunsmith Cats. Oh, I think I remember that one. I don't think I read it, but I remember like seeing it. Okay, that went through. Through. Just keep going through around the sides, because then I'll be done. Not that. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Oh. Also, I was reading in one of my books about Eastern... stupid fun, like peak 80s anti-hero. Oh, okay. But yeah, I was reading in it, so I'm actually... So the current book I'm reading right now is Know Your Trees, and it was published by the American Foresters Association. My copy was printed in 1971 one of the things I really enjoy about it is the fact that it uses the same font as the World Book Encyclopedia. Very exact same font. Which is part of a side note. But yeah, it does talk. I did actually recently read the edition on Eastern Red Cedar here, the wood I'm working with. And it said the wood was pretty brittle. And my experience is definitely confirming that this stuff is very brittle. It loves to just shatter. Granted, I feel like that's been the whole experience so far with building all this. Has been like just everything just shattering versus wanting to cut, which is probably another aspect of this hard mode I'm on right now. But, The good thing about a tenon like this, no one's gonna see that. No one is going to see the blowout on a tenon. Okay. Let's see. Grab a peg. And as long as it fits through with resistance, that's fine. But as long as I feel like I can drive it through. I don't want it to be more chippy. Ooh. Cedar's more chippy than cherry, which I find chopped. Now that's actually a fun thing. I've yet to work with cherry. Cherry has yet to be an experience I've had. Granted, I do eventually have my eye on it. Granted, I hear what everyone says about the black walnut, and I do want to look at getting my hands on some black walnut. Even though the price for black walnut is, well, high. Because I was like looking at local sellers and such, and I think they were charging $8 a board foot for black walnut. And I was looking at that and being like, wow, $8 a board foot, that's it was a little pricey. And then I was kind of looking online, and some people are like, yeah, $8 a board foot for black walnut can be alright. Granted, it also depends on what kind of black walnut you're getting, because if you want like 8x4 black walnut, I think that seller was selling it for like $10 a board foot, which I might find tempting. Not that I'm going to say I'm going to go out and buy it like after stream or anything. Okay. That's... Okay. Well, my peg will go through that hole. That is one of 3 more, well, 1 of 4. I bought a piece of black walnut, one by like 4 and a foot, and it was like $10 board foot. 4 years later, it's still in my shop. I still need a project befitting it. Yeah. That's a big thing, is like because right now for me, I'm still sitting on a fair amount of sassafras lumber, which I managed to score like over 400 board feet of sassafras lumber for like less than $400 about 2 years ago. And I've used up most of it. Building the headboard project for my bed earlier this year, used up quite a fair amount of it, but I still have a good amount of that left. I still have tons of cedar, which actually next woodworking, well, after this woodworking project, we're actually going to be using cedar again, but we're going to be using cedar for reasons befitting why we're working with it, because the next project is actually going to be an outside project. Because I got a thing in the mail that I ordered, oh, I don't think it was a week ago. think it was longer than a week ago. But this came in the mail today. My certified wildlife habitat sign that I ordered from the National Wildlife Federation because I went ahead and got my yard wildlife habitat certified. Because, and I actually need this sign. The reason I need this sign is per local ordinances where I'm at. I want to have my yard a bit on the wild side. In order to do that, I have two main rules I have to follow. Rule 1 is I still have to maintain a 5-foot perimeter of grass. And hell yeah. That is rule 1. I have to maintain a 5-foot perimeter of grass around my yard. Just to keep like grass from like reaching out into the road and stuff like that. And the second is I need a sign. I had a sign, but that sign was kind of like those yard signs that you use to advertise house for sales. Well, a house for sale or like political opinions. And it was made of the same material, and the printing on that sign just came apart in like the last couple months. So I really need to replace that because in order to be within ordinance, I need to have a sign. So next woodworking project, probably sometime next week, is I want to build like currently the game plan is I'm thinking about building what's essentially going to be a frame made out of 2x4s. I'm going to then back with some, I think the 1x5-inch cedar planks I've got. And then I'm going to lay this sign in that. And then this frame, I'm going to attach to 2 cedar posts. And then all this is just, and then I'll eventually like dig out the cedar posts, and then this will be like a whole thing. And by having this like sit in a frame, will kind of keep water and stuff off of it. Granted, this is made of aluminum. Granted, it's all painted. Also, it seems like a reasonably heavy piece of metal. This is like light. This is really light. Like I reckon this is like 4 pounds. But yeah, I got my yard certified National Wildlife Habitat, and yeah, really glad I actually got this. Really glad it came in finally, because I get a little nervous if I'm not 100% abiding by my local ordinances, because I believe my neighbors have called code enforcement on me for it before, and code enforcement showed up and just looked at my yard, saw the sign, and it's like, yep, that's in code. But my sign is now not some. It is more white than sign, and I need to replace it. Oh, here is piece 2. Let's slip our in. And let's drill out the next one. Should be all I need to. Ooh! Wait, that divot what I want. That divot's what I want. Wait. All I need is a divot. And then we'll grab this. This. Now it can go all the way through. And 2 holes in the sacrificial block. Bada bang, bada boom. Now we can start playing with this one. Because if I really want to finish this project, this stream, and Right now, I gotta make well, slowly making progress in the right direction. Just got a ways to go. It's fine. I don't need sleep for a Friday. Who needs sleep for a Friday? Everyone's dead at work anyway, right? Not really. I mean, I'm gonna have to actually work on Friday, but I don't know what. I don't know if I'll be running service or if I'll be on installs or not. We do have an install for tomorrow. I might end up running service, which if I get running service, I'll be pretty happy with that. Running service would be a great way to spend a Friday. Digging in a little bit. Let's straighten ourselves out from this perspective. And what do I have here? Good amount. Here, let's grab. Hey, oh, feels like it wants to get stuck. Means I just have to clean out the later side. Yeah, I am liking this workflow of marking it with the 1/2 inch and then just finishing it with the 1/4 inch. Yeah, that would be fun. Oh, and make sure no air into chips. Then we'll flip it over. Do the next side. Chisel out. Well, chisel marked out. Then and oh. So, how well are we doing with this? Looks decent, looks decent. Side to side, I got lots of room. Top and bottom, I have a lot of room. Give it just a little bit. Do want it to be reasonably tight, reasonably tight. Get all my shit Shatterings out of the mortise. Ooh. And set you there. Now I have a little divot here. That marks me all out for this. Check my alignment. Nice. Nice. We'll continue on with our process. Going around it. Marked reasonably with half inch. Finishing it off with a quarter. And ba-bang. Bang, ba-boom. Also, speaking of like wildlife habitat and such, I gotta say, the milkweed I've planted has been very spready, which is good, because I definitely want plenty of milkweed. This is, I think it was like 2 years ago. I actually got some monarch butterflies doing their thing around here. Would really hope for a repeat of that. Granted, right now the local theme right now is locusts everywhere. Granted, I haven't noticed many locusts on my property or in my area, but like in other parts throughout town, definitely there's lots of locusts out there. Well, not locusts, cicadas. Lots of cicadas. Because we have a 17-year brood that is basically doing its thing right now. Coming out of the ground for the first time in a long time. Ooh. I pretty much just about expected that. Okay. Okay. Let's see what we can do with this. See what we can do. This. That reasonably. Ooh. About cicadas were last year. Yeah, for me, at my location, cicadas are a thing this year. I'm gonna actually forget the name of the brood that's doing its thing right now. I forget if it's brood 16. It's weird, they always use Roman numerals for cicada broods. Like whenever like the news and such like talk about cicada broods, it's always like they always use Roman numerals for the brood numbers. I wonder why they do that. And that's reasonably through. Yay! Another one done. That one gets matched with that. So now work on this piece of wood here. This is going to be our top piece. And woo! Put it on the side. Make sure I get everything reasonably supported. Okay. And then with that. Boop! I got here. Finish this hole off. Protect. Very valuable. Well, not even a very valuable. Just protect the bench top. And made a Mickey Mouse completely by accident. That's funny. That's a funny coincidence right there. Granted, as you can now see, we're now dealing with a much paler color of wood. You're dealing with the sapwood, the cedar, so. Granted, another reason why I like using cedar for projects is because cedar's cheap. Or at least I can get it for cheap. Because how much did I pay? Or because I think I paid either 13 or 14 bucks for a 4x4 board 8 feet long, which for cedar is kind of a deal. But that's just because I live in a locale where cedar grows fairly well. Well, an area where cedar grows and not cedar grows better than other things. Mostly because of a certain rock called limestone. And cedar does better on alkaline soils than other plant species. So cedar tends to thrive a bit better. It tends to it can actually do stuff where other trees are like, screw this pH, I'm out. Because cedar does well here, there is a sawmill that actually kind of just specializes in it, and thanks to that specialization, cedar lumber can be had at very reasonable cost. Who? What? Is it a Tropa? So there's a VTuber on Twitch. Her name's a Tropa Everwood, and she's also a variety hobbyist streamer. She's also done some woodworking, and what was it, like a week or two ago? She made a tweet where she picked up some white oak for like $2 a board foot, and I'm like, that better have not been quarter sawn. Because if you got quarter saw and white oak for like $2 a board foot, that was like a hell of a deal. Or if it was just regular white oak, then. Granted, speaking of another wood I want to work with. Granted, there's a lot of wood I want to work with. I really want to work with Kentucky coffee tree at some point. And then also another really rot resistant wood that it will also be hell on my blades is black locust. I do want to try making a project with black locust at some point. I just know if I attempt to do something with black locust, jealous. Yes, I know. Man, that's a deal. Okay, and let's do one pass there. Okay, I'll call that done. That side. Granted, this is the thing I really like about. That's what I really like about these small mortises. They're very easy to cut. Even though I gotta cut like 4 of these. Granted, it also helps that I'm working with sapwood. So it cuts a little bit easier than the heartwood, which the heartwood's the purpley part. Or in the case of a piece of wood like this with lots of black locust plus a dung. Oh, black locust does a lung irritant. I could see that. Because black locust is one of the trees in the pea family, and I know some of those some of those trees can have a little bit of poisonous to them. I still do want to give it I still want to play with it, because, like, if you build something with black locusts, congratulations, you built something that's going to outlive your grandchildren, regardless of how it's treated. That's the thing with black locusts is like it's super durable. In my trail work, we've used it because we actually had a scout troop one time build a retaining wall out of black locusts because we had a trail that was near a stream, and that stream was threatening to erode our trail. So, as a Boy Scout, Eagle Scout project, we had a scout come out and they built a retaining wall out of black locust. And that was back in the faraway land of 2009. That retaining wall is still there. And that is a wooden retaining wall holding up dirt next to a stream. Black locust lasts, but I also remember another time when we were making some trail features for a mountain bike trail. We were like making like a hump thing for the mountain bikes to go over. To hold the logs up in the like positions we wanted to hold them in, we drilled holes in them, and then we were going to send rebar into the ground to hold the logs together. Yeah, we smoked a few DeWalt drills doing that. Granted, they were battery drills. Like, if I were to play with Black Locust, I would certainly be very slow and steady wins the race with Black Locust. Black Locust will be very slow and steady wins the race, because I'm hard enough. I'm okay being hard on my chisels because, well, I'm okay being hard on my chisels because I bought this set at Harbor Freight for $10. Yeah, like, that's the thing with Black Locust, like, it's actually hard, but it's not like one of the worst woods out there. Back when I was in a certain university's forestry program, when we were learning about different wood species and such, hemlock will have, well, the knots, which not the wood of a hemlock knot gets so hard, if you hit it wrong with an axe, it will chip the axe blade. Which I could only imagine the destruction it would do to a chisel blade. Considering the fact a chisel is a much less supported blade in terms of like having material behind it. Okay, so doing a really great job of getting things started, and then having a little bit of stuff in the back to finish off, but that's fine. It's real fine. We make these tight, then it'll really hold everything together really well. But hey, at least those drills that were ruined weren't mine, so. Granted, that was actually like way before I was like super into projects and such. Granted, if I smoked one of my drills, I'd be like, oh man. I don't know if I'd be all man. I might have words. Okay, I think we may have that one done. Yeah. Okay. Wait. Get both sides. Did I do both sides? Yes, I did both sides. Woo! We are slowly but steadily getting towards the end. I gotta square out this guy, do one more mortise, and then we can actually start. And we can actually bring the project together. Ooh. And that was actually one of the fun things about being a former forestry major is I know a lot more about trees and wood than the average person. And that's also kind of the big reason why I picked up woodworking as a hobby. Is I like trees, and I like trees so much I will work with them when they're dead. Such great and beautiful creatures. It's also a neat hobby. It's a fun to have a make stuff hobby. Even though my motivations for making stuff hobby are more deeply rooted in a dislike of myself. Mostly because I was a person at one point in time who was mostly a consumer, and I sought to change that and become a producer. So I picked up brewing as a hobby. And my life has kind of been non-stop hobby picking up since then. Granted, I think I'm going to stabilize with my current hobbies a fair bit. Because at some point, don't know when, but I'll probably give up home brewing. It'll actually probably be a while before I give up home. Eventually, I'm going to get to a point where because Because I can still consume alcohol now, but eventually I'm going to get old enough to the point where it's like, man, alcohol, specifically beer, you're great. I love you, but I'm too old for you now. I gotta actually, like, finish growing up. Granted, I'd probably still let myself have non-alcoholic beer, though. Granted, I can't brew non-alcoholic beer at home. That's a lot more of a process to it, and needs equipment I don't have. And I know, like, companies like Athletic, in the case of their brews, they actually have a bit of a secret process, which I think some of that process involves like a particular strand of yeast that doesn't make as much alcohol. So I'll probably definitely still I'll still be drinking beer when I'm old, but it'll just be NA beer. They're out a hair bit more. Let's travel. Okay, what we got? Looks reasonable. This peg might have. Oh. Bit of a tough time with it. So what I think I might do, we'll just try to kind of out a little bit more. And once we out a little bit more. B. Pretty good. But corner. Okay, how's that look? Reasonably happy. It's reasonably square. Square enough for wood. Definitely one of the fun things with wood. Spend a lot of effort turning a round product into a square product to only put more holes and squares in it. But let's go. We're getting towards the end. Because all I gotta do is it, so let's see. It's even as I can. And also having a little bit more material up on the workbench always helps. Always helps. Okay. Okay, that looks like we hit the tenon to the side. Goodbye, Mickey. Nice knowing you, Mouse. So my drill bit landed right on the edge and then sunk into that hole. Guess Mickey gets to live for another day. Pull it through. Sweetums. Not you, you I desire. And I'm really glad we're actually getting close to the end here. Wowie. It's been a process, which, I mean, I pretty much knew this for today. I knew this one might end up a bit on the long side. Which is why I was trying to get like as much prep work done the day before. Like, oh, there you are. This is going to be the stretcher between the two posts and help give the sawhorse additional rigidity. Keep turning the round hole into a square hole. I think last bit of cleanup here. Okay, and test. It will go in. Probably make it a little bit easier if... Okay. Side one done. Side two. And pop. Yeah. Order. Okay. Ooh. And visual inspection. Oh, I've still got a little bit around some of my corners. And I got some debris in my top corners there. We got a little material. Best thing to do for those is the full half-inch. I'll really clean the corners up nicely. Now, mortise, reasonably cleaned out. Grab peg. Okay. That peg should go through. Eat. What? Yeah, square hole. And here we go. Last bit of work to do. Then once we get this cut, we can actually assemble. Probably, maybe get disappointed by the results. I don't know. Let's see. It'll be fine enough. The main... Well, that's there, and then I need to move this. Main purpose of this of the sawhorse projects was for me to get a little bit of experience with mortise and tenon joinery. Because this is basically me cutting my teeth right now on this technique. Because you gotta start somewhere. And this is where I chose to start. Then hopefully moving forward, I want to work on like incorporating elements of joinery into my projects. And then slowly expand my skills out from there. Want that piece just move, and then it's like light tap, boom. Whoop. Drift. Okay. Let's see. Oh. Oh boy. Yep. There's gonna be some reasonably... Well, actually, let's just get it over with. I felt like there was some reasonably gnarly chip out on that. But... Yep, that was some reasonably gnarly chip out on that one. But that's what happens. Okay. Oh. Ooh. that. Yeah. Cedar just shatters on you, but yeah. But hey. Woo! Okay, so. Looks like we're at the point to start assembling. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. The stream's already been 2 hours, and I would like to go to bed at some point. Ugh. So the reason I put blue tape on this was to make sure I send it into this mortise. Because when I was like testing everything out earlier, I had to make sure I did it a certain way, otherwise it wasn't going to work. Oh, let's see here. Oh, let's start. Ooh, that's nice. It's pulling together. Oh. Stopped. Okay. I do. Let's see. I need to start with now. Looks like the backside isn't fully lining up. Woo! So let's take a look. You know what? Let's try it from the other side. I think we might. Okay. I figured this was gonna happen. Okay. Assemblage. Oh. And just wait. Assemble it from over here. Granted, I know I can. I'll just want... Give me one moment. got a flat punch. Allow me to condense this. Woo! Success! I'm getting it out. Looks like how it was getting hung up. This getting hung up on the top part of this. Do is I'm gonna grab this and just kind of try to work and flatten out the top side. That should your ticket this through, but after I clean this up a bit, I'm actually gonna give up on this for now. This connection. Just because it's just hard to do it right now. So rather than get the main top bar in, we're gonna work on the carved for this. It's gonna be tight. Grab my other foot. Go. And the fit is so or a pair. Okay, you know what? We have a pairing. And saved it. Very optimistic this one will go through. Granted, honestly, I'm not doing myself any favors. Because hey, wait a second. That looked better earlier. It's gracious. These look a lot better. Earlier. Granted. There we go. Hey, Punch, don't get stuck in there. I'm tired of getting stuff stuck in my... stuck and I can't get that. Okay, that got good wiggle. Ow. Okay. Looks. That side looks terrible. Around. Bolts. Perfect, that's how it works. Okay. Oh. That. Okay, because my off button. Whoa. So I can see it a little bit there, but I've got a this one. I just need to cut stuff off the top. Get it good. That's what I'm gonna do. Do a little bit of that. Flip it around. And I'm just gonna work this from side to side. That's all I can do at this point. Let's see, let's do straight down. And a little bit more material room. And bit. Okay. Might have a shot. But another thing I can do to honestly make my life easier is just chamfer my corners for the pen. This was actually the thing I was thinking about earlier at one point, was if I just round out my corners a little bit and then kind of round out the front edge. So we turn our squarish pen into a round one. That way, the small part, well, this front end is small, so that means it will kind of more readily find where it needs to go. Oh, sounds like it made its way through the other side. Let's do this. That's the peg through. It's loose, but that's because the joint's cut loose, but the peg's gonna hold it all together. Granted, I could also probably throw a little bit of water on it. That will also help it. We have two pieces assembled. Let's work on the next thing. Next thing's a lock. Because this next piece, we gotta go We gotta go reasonably far back. At least that far back. On the mortise, because there is absolutely no way it's gonna go together. The way we have it now. So first step is going to just be cutting out my side, cutting out an angle. Trying to get a little bit of the material out and then flip it around because I want to make sure keep working the same side. This is just gonna take a lot of... It's gonna be if... This one was worse compared to the other one. In terms of the amount of material, but... we will eventually get the project assembled. Oh. Let's... Okay. I'm optimistic that will come together. So, I'm gonna set this here. Grab a chisel, grab a peg, and we're gonna just round our corners. These pegs are actually long enough to go fully through. So even if we round our edges a little bit, that's not going to really affect the hold. And the things that are going to affect the hold is how imprecise of a measurer I am as a builder. Tap in, peg, actually, a bit more. Starting to come out the other side. Grab a block. And gonna be for all those shortcomings. This joint's solid. This one's solid. There's no rocking. Moment to manipulate some stuff. Get this out. And we can bring our pieces to here and then we'll do assembly. But I have some imperfections. It's gonna go over here. Oh, let's take one of my ends and we'll just square off our corners. And we'll see what we can do with as far as bringing this together. Oh. This one, let's see if we can. A bit more. There we go. Okay, that sounds like it's knocking. Side. Rocky. Let's try. Let's get gravity working for me. Okay, that's not working. Yeah, it is. Begrudgingly, it's working. That's that pin. Found.
Yeah.
Time that I have since put the right in. Oh, there we go. Manipulation. Okay, I need to actually need to look into this. This one definitely needs work. I tried to bring a project together in Stream and oh, it may not be good. I think the thing that's going to make me most successful first shot is I gotta take some off here. So we're gonna hit this, that. So it'll be this side over here. And okay. So I'm gonna throw this up here. Okay. I think we got a shot. I think we've got a shot with it. Try there. Grab the final pin. Up a little bit. Try to be optimistic here. Edges. This is shot. Not a good sound. Sound. Undo this. Oh. Okay, I can't believe that worked, but it worked. So, for this, I literally just flipped the pin around and did it from the other side, so we've got some pretty loose joints here. Really loose. But I'm probably gonna have to tap it. Wowzers. And as we get closer to the other one. Have to start lining it up. Real close. Ah! Connected. Reasonably. leg. Come out a little bit. That's gonna be that. So wedges. So the wedge here. And we'll do a wedge on the other. And with that, we've got wolves. Another sawhorse. Actually, what I should do is down. Do side by side. Woo! Dude. So with version 2, I have a really loose union there. I actually have an extra oak pin, so I might try to. I'll see if the pin I have is larger than that one. But yeah, otherwise I got some cleaning up work to do. But yeah, tonight's stream has went on for more than long enough, but as far as lateral rigidity goes, this one's really good. Get how good this one. Yeah, like in lateral rigidity, really good. Really good. I'm reasonably happy with it. I knew at the beginning that I was probably biting off a little bit more than I could chew to finish this today, but that was kind of the goal because, yeah, as you can see, we spent 2 hours and 40 minutes on this, and that's about how much time was left, and that's enough for a single short stream, but, well, enough for a singular long stream, but not, it's a little, there's not enough progress left to do all this all at once. Gosh, I need water. Well, but yeah, I definitely bit off a little bit more than I can chew tonight, so that's purely on me. There was definitely with putting in the stringer here. I did it with gratuitous amounts of violence. It doesn't necessarily have to be done that way. Also, I still have to cut my pins once I'm reasonably happy with them. Granted, also another thing I could do with my pins is I could cut grooves and insert wooden wedges to kind of hold them tighter if I think that would be sufficient. But I mean, as far as I'm concerned about having a sawhorse, like, I feel like once I fix, and I feel like the side-to-side might be the fact that the screw tendons on the bottom might be sticking out a little bit much, but as far as like lateral side-to-side, I could, well, I'm comfortably, well, nah, I'm not gonna throw I was kind of tempted to put these side to side, throw a sheet of 3/4 on here and stand on it, which 3/4 would support me, but whew, this was a lot to do in a Yappiing and Sawdust stream, and sorry for not necessarily yapping as much, but that's on me for overextending myself tonight, so that'd be how it is. So I'd say I have occupied all of you wonderful people's time more than enough, and I'd like to go ahead and end stream, and I would like to and as I do so, I want to go ahead and wish everyone out there have a great, wonderful rest of your day, night, evening, whatever it is, wherever you are. And yeah, hopefully oh wait, I guess I should also plug next stream, which is gonna be Saturday night. We're gonna be doing beef pepper skewers with sandwiches. I think I'm gonna do BLT sandwich, and that's gonna be inspired by, I think, episode 4 of Food for the Soul. So that's gonna be Saturday night, and hopefully I see you there. But yeah, take care of yourself, and hopefully I see you all in the next one. Okay, bye bye.